One night, one match, one shot at the Portland Sports Arena. Some have never looked back. Others, we never saw again. Welcome to One Match Wonders, where we shine the light on the forgotten names and surprising cameos from Don Owens Portland Wrestling. I'm Frank Culbertson, your host, and today we've got 3 fascinating footnotes, each with a story worth remembering. In the 1950s and early 60s, Seymour Koenig wasn't known for headlocks. He was known for biceps. A popular competitive bodybuilder, Koenig made the transition to pro wrestling and quickly became a fan favorite, especially in the Pacific Northwest. From 1961 to 62, he teamed with Herb Freeman, working the angle as Kayfabe Brothers, and together they held the Northwest Tag Team titles. He bounced between California and British Columbia, even doing a tour in Australia before retiring in 1965. But 4 years later, in 1969, something pulled Koenig back to the ring. He returned to Portland for just one final match at the Sports Arena. On that night, he faced legendary Tony Bourne, a tough opponent for anyone, and Koenig took the loss. And just like that, he was done. No long comeback, no reunion angle, just one last walk under the lights before the curtain dropped for good. On October 5th, 1974, Dan Reeves had his one and only Portland Sports Arena match. He faced the wild German heel Karl Krupp, and he lost. And within months, his entire wrestling career would be over. Reeves wrestled a total of just 45 matches across a 2-year career. That's a cup of coffee in this business. After Portland, he worked 3 more matches up in Vancouver, then quietly left the business. There's not much known about Dan Reeves. No dramatic angle, no injuries we know of, no legacy interviews. Just a short chapter in the long story of Portland wrestling. And that's part of what makes this show what it is. These aren't legends, they're echoes. But every echo came from a real sound. Now let's jump to June 15, 1974. On that night, a wrestler named Jose Azteca lost to Rasputin in Portland. It was his only recorded match in the territory. But here's the thing, who was he? There are whispers among historians that this may have been Charo Azteca, working under a new name late in his career. Charo had been active in various territories, including Canada and parts of Mexico, and it wouldn't be uncommon for wrestlers to tweak their names as they aged out of a gimmick. We do know that this Jose Azteca had at least a few bookings in British Columbia around the same time. But that's it. No origin story, no follow-up, no known retirement. Just a mysterious figure in and out of Portland scene just in a flash, leaving only questions behind. 3 different stories. A bodybuilder who made one last entrance, a young wrestler whose career never quite started, and a man behind a mask who might not have even used his real name. Wrestling is filled with giants, but is also built on forgotten sparks, brief moments that pass through the ring, the locker room, and the crowd before vanishing. That's what One Match Wonders is here for. Thanks for joining me. New episodes drop every Tuesday and Friday. Subscribe, share, and remember, every name has a story, even if they only wrestled here once. If you've enjoyed these stories from Portland Wrestling's Forgotten Names, there's one book you need to own. The Encyclopedia of Portland Wrestlers by wrestling historian Mike Rogers is the definitive guide to Don Owens' wrestling empire. Over 500 pages of names, match results, and history, covering every wrestler who ever stepped foot inside the Portland Sports Arena. From Roddy Piper to Rip Oliver, from the stars to the One Match Wonders, it's all in here. Available now on Amazon. It's the Encyclopedia of Portland Wrestlers, because if they wrestled here, they're in here.